Okay, we'll start off this haul with some new motors from BBB. These are the 3BR 1105 7500 kV motors and the 6000 kV motors. And I believe they come in a set of 2 per box. Yeah, the boxes are pretty nice, but they're very hard to open, and you can see they come in a set of 2 per box. Yeah, so this is pretty much all you get in the packaging. You get obviously your mounting screws and the motor itself. And the motor wires are pretty long, so should have no problem reaching whatever size frame you have or ESC combination. And here's a look at the motor itself. These look a lot like the Dragonfly motors from FPV model. I'm not exactly 100% sure, but it looks like it. The tops look the same, and it's got the same purple color. But this is the 7500 kV motor. I believe the Dragonfly is also the same kV and has the same feel in terms of the cogging, so it might be made by the same OEM or factory. So I'm going to test these out, and also the 6000 kV. I think the 7500 kV are good for a 2-inch on 3S, and then the 6000 kV probably are good for a 2.5-inch or 3-inch on 3S. So I'll be testing these out on the build pretty soon. Probably going to put these on the Micro 2, the Tomokai's Micro 2 that I've been waiting for parts for. Okay, got another camera from Runcam, surprise, surprise, and this one's the Nano. The reason this one took a while to get to me, I think they said that they were still working on the NTSC version. This should be the NTSC version. This is Nano L21-N. I believe the other one that I think that's been reviewed by JJRC is the PAL version. So this is 3.3 to 5 volts voltage range, 2.1 millimeter lens. I think that's the same lens as on the Sparrow and the Microswift. 160 degree field of view, 650 TV lines, and it's a CMOS sensor. And this thing is pretty tiny. Oh, we got a little, looks like a circuit board card, where it shows the pinouts for the power, ground, and video. And this is the camera here. I see it's the same lens, I believe. It's an M8 lens. You got the lock ring as well. And it looks like the lens housing here is epoxied onto the board, so that won't pop off. And a lot of the micro cameras, this board pops off with the sensor. The sensor's on the board, and the sensor is actually holding on this little lens holder by friction, and it pops off a lot. And we got on the back here, you got power, ground, and video. Now, this is definitely a different circuit board than I've seen before. And we've got the 3-pin connector here. I think it's a 1.25 millimeter pitch connector, same one that for all the other Runcam cameras use. So, but you gotta keep in mind the voltage range maximum of 5.5 volts, otherwise you'll fry this. So yeah, I'll have a review on this coming up pretty soon, so stay tuned. Okay, so we have here the JJRC Christmas egg. And it's like a foldable toy drone here, and it has a G sensor remote control. It's like the one that has the weird controller, the single head controller. You got a manual, and I don't know what this is. Yeah, so here's the drone folded up, and you got the controller, the single headed controller like this. I've used this before on an eSheen model, and it flew pretty good. And this one has a little camera, it looks like, so probably Wi-Fi FPV. Little power button there, charge button there, or a little charge port there, and it looks like you just open it up with a little button on the bottom, and then it just pops open like that. And I see a little 1S battery inside there. Doesn't look like you can replace that. So probably, you know, short flights, and then gotta charge it up again. I'll have a quick review on this coming up pretty soon. Okay, so now I got the eSheen E58 pocket drone here. It's, you know, it's a pretty small box here, but you can see what it looks like here. Obviously it's a toy drone, but they have replicated the looks like the Mavic Pro folding arms. Obviously it's going to be toy grade with brushed motors. Looks like the props are folding, so it's probably why it's so small. See, it's about the size of my hand. Yeah, these guys have really gone to great lengths to copy the Mavic Pro in this tiny. It's like half the size of the Mavic Pro. It's kind of hilarious. And they even copied the way the controller looks. It's amazing. Obviously toy grade stuff here, but for the looks, kind of a novelty here actually. So let's get this unfolded. Like you unfold the front arms first, and then looks like the back arms fold out like this. Yeah, this is amazing. And then the props are folding as well, just like on the Mavic Pro. This is pretty hilarious. Obviously not a 3D gimbal here, but it does look, you can bend it down. Looks like it's manually controlled here like that, just by moving it. Power button on top. I don't think this battery is removable. Yeah, I think that's all for show, but it looks like a Mavic Pro. It's hilarious. Looks like the battery is removable in the back here, so it comes out the back like this, and it's a little 1S 500 milliamp hour battery. Pretty nice. So if you buy more batteries, you could swap these out. Pretty nice. And you get some spare props, and looks like a USB cord. And I was kind of wondering why they provided a USB cable without a charger. It's because this battery has the charger built in, and so you plug the USB cable into the battery itself, just like that. That's actually pretty cool. And here's the controller. Looks like it has altitude hold. And 4 AA batteries in the bottom. I'm kind of actually looking forward to flying this one, so I'll have a video on this one pretty soon, so stay tuned for this one. Okay, so I've got the Real ACC triple feed patch antenna, and this is a right hand and left hand circular polarized patch antenna. You can see you can connect up your cable here, and it does have a converter for RPSMA, SMA, but it does not come with the dummy load, so you have to order that separately. They actually didn't send me that, so I have to order that separately. So you can actually switch between left-handed or right-hand circular polarization by connecting up your cable on one or the other. And this is what it looks like. It's supposed to be a pretty good patch antenna. Anyway, so I'll have a review on this coming up as soon as I get the dummy load adapter, which is like $2. Not sure when that's going to come in, so it might be a couple weeks before this review comes out. Okay, got a 5-inch frame here. I think this is the Chopsticks 215. And this is supposed to be like an ultra lightweight frame, but it's got skinny arms. So you can see that arms are very, very skinny, so it should allow for very good airflow. But they're also very thick, so they're 5 millimeters thick. You can see that the arms are replaceable. So it's going to come with a bunch of parts here. Let's go maybe a little bit more on the complicated side in terms of the build, but just wanted to show you quickly what comes in here. Oh, it comes with a battery protector as well. That's kind of nice, and the battery strap, and you get some foam for the underside to protect the battery as well, along with all of your hardware, your nuts, standoffs, bolts, all that kind of stuff. Pretty inexpensive frame. This was like $20, so and I'm not sure how durable the arms are going to be. I mean, 5 millimeters should be pretty durable, but I mean, obviously crashing it will determine how durable it is. But here's a little assembly diagram that is included, and you can see here is what the frame should kind of look like. It's got a really steep angle for the GoPro mount as well, so this is really designed for speed and flying really fast. So I'm actually going to be building this as a lightweight rig. I'm not sure what parts I'm going to use it, but I'll have a review video on the frame, obviously, and I'll build the frame first, and then we'll do a build video down the road at some point. Okay, so I picked up a couple of frames from this new company called AMAX Innovations. So this is a 130 millimeter 3-inch frame here, and it's for 20 by 20 power stacks, 1100, 1300, and 1400 series motors, and it'll mount a micro-swift as well, a micro CCD camera. So this is going to be pretty lightweight and pretty powerful build. I'm probably going to be using those JJRC 1407 motors on this build at some point in the near future. And then this one here, I don't remember what this one was called. I'll just put a picture up here of what it looks like. Obviously I'm not going to take all the parts out here, but this is obviously fully disassembled. This is a 5-inch frame, and it's like a slammed build, so like the distance between the bottom plate and the top plate is pretty minimal. I think it's like 20 millimeters, might be less, but that's supposed to lower your center of gravity and it's supposed to fly better. So I think this might be a pretty good freestyle frame. So I'll have this frame review in a future video coming up pretty soon. Okay, so I got another GPS drone here. It's the Wingsland M5. And it comes in some pretty nice packaging, and here's a quick look at it. It's got I think it's got a 4K camera. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe only 1080p, but brushless motors, obviously. It's got all the optical sensors and stuff on the bottom, compass, GPS, stuff that works. But the frame is plastic, as you can see here. And it's kind of flexible, so not sure what's up with that and how that's going to fly, but looks like these are maybe 5 or 6 inch props. And here's a quick look at the controller. It's kind of weird. The antennas pop up like this, and I think the phone comes down on the bottom like here. And actually the controller turns on when you unfold it. And I think these are spring loaded, so you put the phone on the bottom. And then obviously it's got altitude hold. It's pretty compact, as you can tell. It is fold up the back arms, it turns off. And yeah, it's very, very compact for a controller. Couple of spare props. Looks like this is the battery charger. Here's the manual. Okay, we got here something from Diatone. I think this is the new JJRC R9T. So this is I believe a pre-production version. Doesn't really have full instructions or all of the accessories, I don't believe. It's going to be coming out in a couple of weeks, I think. And I think this documentation here is just the diagram for the Fury F4M flight controller. Looks like the drone is assembled and you get some spare parts, but it looks like it's still in the injection molding, whatever this is, the plastic that it comes with. A couple extra props and some prop guards. Yeah, they come with a set of prop guards on there and a few other things. Okay, and here's what the drone looks like. Pretty nice design. You got the side plates on top and they kind of converge in the back here, and video transmitter antennas in the bottom. And you've got this XT30 here with a current sensor on the XT30 connector itself. So you got an extra wire here for the current information. It's kind of nice to put it there instead of on the board. So we'll have some real current measurements off of this micro, which a lot of micros don't have. And we got some Diatone branded motors here. What are these? These are 1104 6000 kV motors, and they look like Sunny Sky Edge racing motors. So I've heard this will run 3S and 4S, so let's see how this does. I'm not sure I'm liking these props too much. They're bull-nosed 2030s. They kind of look like the DOS props. I know I didn't like this. Let's see how balanced these are. Might be switching them out. And I'm probably going to take the prop guards off as well. I don't like flying around with prop guards at extra weight. And this thing is meant to fly fast. It's meant to be a racer. So, yeah, not really sure if I want to fly really fast indoors anyway. You got a micro CCD camera here. This is a new one. It's not the Runcam Micro Swift, but looks similar. It's got a different casing. And I heard that the flight stack on here is pretty amazing. Got a Fury F4 flight controller. I think it's a 20 amp 4-in-1 BL S ESC, and then the VTX is on the bottom, and I believe that's a TBS Unify, and you can't really see that there. And there's the video transmitter antenna. So yeah, I'll get a review on this out pretty soon, and this will be out I think mid-November I believe, and Gearbest and Banggood and all the other retailers, so stay tuned for a video coming up pretty soon. So these are just some parts I picked up for a mod video I'll be doing in the future. I'm going to be modding the FlySky i6 radio. I'm going to be doing that for the antenna mod, and also need this part here for the 2-watt booster. So that's going to be a future video down the road, not sure when, but these are just parts for those. Okay, I picked up some of these GemFan Flash 3052 props. So these are a little bit, I think, going to be better props for the lower kV motors, like the 3100 kV motor on the X140. So I picked up some of these. I'm going to try these out instead of the with HQ 3030s. You know, 3030 is a less pitch than these 3052s, so this should produce more thrust for those motors, and so I'm going to give that a try, and that'll be a future video. Okay, so this new radio from Jumper has come in. It's the T8SG. It's a 10-channel multi-protocol radio, and this actually does like pretty much everything. It does Free Sky, both generation Fly Sky, first and second generation, Futaba, SFHSS, DSM2, DSMX, Spectrum, and it does all the toy protocols, Hubsan, SEMA, etc., etc. You can see here it's a 4-in-1 RF chip. You got the CC2500, the NRF 24L01, A701, and the CYR F6936. These are basically pretty much covers everything. And so I think a lot of guys that want to do these multi-protocols and radio were modifying the Devo 7E, and I just didn't really want to get into doing all that kind of mods, so I was kind of waiting for something like this to come out, and this is definitely something that'll be useful for me because I do a lot of reviews on just stuff with a lot of different protocols, especially all the toy stuff and a lot of the Fly Sky stuff as well. And this will be nice just, you know, for sometimes just to be able to carry one radio out and be able to fly pretty much everything. Okay, it comes in this pretty nice case. I wasn't expecting that. And you get a manual, and it's based on the Deviation software. I guess it's an open source firmware for these multi-protocol radios, and it's looks like it's really comprehensive. Might have to spend some time reading this one. This is looks like a dictionary, but it looks like it's got pretty much everything covered. I don't think I'll have any issues figuring this out by reading the manual. Get a nice orange neck strap, and here it is. You got a detachable antenna, an audio jack there. It actually feels a lot smaller than I was expecting. It's smaller than the Fly Sky i6 radio, definitely smaller than the Tyrannus. Not as small as the Evolution. Gimbals are okay, they're not terrible. Not as nice as the ones on the Tyrannus, of course. But this is like a $68 radio, I believe. Let's see, you got a 3-position switch, another 3-position switch, and they're all 3-position switches here. And you got a couple of variable dials. You got, yeah, pretty nice trim buttons. The works here. Not sure how it's powered on. I think there's maybe a battery underneath here somewhere. It looks like this is where the battery goes in. You got a balance lead. It looks like a 2S balance lead, but no battery. So it looks like I'll have to figure out how to supply my own battery to power this. Anyways, this is going to be a pretty interesting product, and I'll have a full review on this coming up pretty soon.